Narramata Bench is the most beautiful wine growing area of the whole Okanagan Valley. You've got dozens of small wineries that dot the landscape with beautiful views down to the lake. I love it here. Joie is another winery that's definitely in my top 10. It's owned by a young couple who moved out from Vancouver, driven by a passion to make world-class wines. I think they've done that, and you can taste it in the glass. Well, we're here with Michael Den and Heidi Noble, the proprietors of Joie Winery on the Narramata Bench. Tell me about the actual name, Joie or Joie Farm. I mean, not always an easy one. I'm sure you hear mispronounced
yeah, especially in British Columbia.
It brought us a lot of joy. It seemed like a natural choice for me.
It also expressed our own personal love of food and wine, and that's really, our greatest pleasure.
Wine is about for us.
It is so much, and the fact that we used a French name expressed our own love of old world, exactly, right, without being so pretentious about the whole thing.
How did this all come about? You guys lived in Vancouver?
I did, and wine was such a passion, and food is such a passion that we decided we'd take it right back to the beginning, to the farm.
So you got 5 acres here, and you planted it, or?
We did. In fact, Heidi planted most of it by hand.
Planted in the spring of 2007.
Okay. Tell me about your range of wines, your portfolio. What have you got? What are you most proud of at Joie?
We've really focused our project on exclusively the varieties of Alsace and Burgundy.
Now, you sell out pretty quickly. How do you manage to do that?
Well, we have wonderful support and contacts from our colleagues in the restaurant and wine trade who've really taken personal ownership of what we're doing.
So where do you think the Okanagan's going?
This is an interesting broad question. I mean, there's a difference between where it's going and where we think it should go sometimes, I think.
And where do you think it should go?
I think the focus here we're really lucky. Vancouver's a market that devours pretty much everything that we create here. And people are so loyal to the Okanagan Valley here in British Columbia, and they have specific things that they want to drink. They want to drink things like Bordeaux blends, and they want to drink Syrah, and they want to drink these big reds, and I totally understand why they do it. I enjoy those wines as well. But I don't think that those are the things that we have the greatest advantage over other regions on.
And I think what Vancouver says it wants and what it actually consumes a lot of are those aromatic whites, Burgundy-focused wines to go with all that rich seafood, scallops, shellfish.
Mm-hmm. So should we be focusing more on aromatic varietals in terms of planting than
I think so. I think the magic happens here on the edge of a cool climate.
Right. So the question here is not to disrespect what other people are doing with these varieties, Bordeaux blends and Syrah, because there are some very good things being done. But the question for us becomes about identity, and I think the clearest identity of this region will be built around, at its best, around the Germanics and around the Burgundians, because we have the climatic advantage for making these cool climate wines that areas like even Washington and Oregon don't have. We can create delicacy here with these aromatic whites that these other New World regions can't.
So Heidi, Michael, tell me about this. What have you got going on here? Smokehouse?
This is our smoker. We use it to smoke all sorts of meat that we buy from friends' farms. Pork, beef, fish. We smoke everything in it.
Joie is also very conscientious about the environment. They only use certified organic sprays to deal with pests like leafhoppers. And they also have a very unique way of using chickens to take care of the vineyards.
Oh, thank you.
So it really is a farm. Heidi, what do you got here?
I have a whole bunch of, they're hens, so they're egg-laying birds, but they're also our partial weed control in the vineyard. We have a mobile hoop that we put them out so they can scratch under the grapevines.
So you actually take them out of here and
you just kind of herd them.
And you put them in the vineyards to eat some of the weeds, or?
So they're constantly scratching and eating both cutworms, which is great in the spring, right? They eat your buds. But they're also fertilizing as they scratch, so it's a good system.
Perfect. And then if you ever get hungry, there's dinner.
In fact, lunch. I usually have eggs for lunch.
It was a great visit to Joie. It's definitely a very rustic winery and doesn't have the financial resources of a major corporation, but Michael and Heidi are driven by passion, and I'm sure they'll continue to raise the bar for aromatic white wines.